All right, we got energy. Let's start off with oil. As you see, we're up 66 cents. I mean, got to put everything in perspective. The 20th of December, excuse, excuse me, I had a burp. The 20th of December, we were way back at 66.77, right? So we've basically gone, hold on. Hopefully, it'll show me the percent. We've gone, give or take, 14% since what, the week before Christmas, whatever, 10 trading days, give or take. So, one, that's a massive move. Two, I really enjoy where we are. All right, we came up, we broke through on the 76.89, which is 50% of, I don't know, it's 50% of something. But then we came back down and bounced right on key support from here, support from back here, and that'd probably be most of the support since it hasn't been at this level for a very long time. And it's 50% of this extension, right? Not a retracement, it's extension. So if we beat that 50% right there, then we're really looking good. We're poised, right? As it looks like we're really far away from all this, but it's really not. One little bounce, our next target will be 78.79, trying to take out the top of this right here, this big nasty 1 day down on the 26th of November. That's next target. If we can break out of that, right, which probability saying that we will eventually break out of this level, right? I know. Do I think it's gonna happen this week? I don't know. I'm not a mind reader, right, or fortune teller, but I do see if we break out of this 77.44 and we do it with conviction, then the breaking out of the 78.98 will have a higher probability. Now, if we have a hard time trying to break the 77.41, then I see probably a reversal right at this line, at our teal line right here at the beginning of this, for a nice little probably sell down to the 76 again and then try to retake it. But like I said, if we can break out of here strong and with momentum and volume, then I see we can probably break out of the secondary line relatively fast and then probably bounce off of our 80 and then use our teal line as support. All right, we got TTT or TTE total. It's kind of the same as what's going on with oil. If they trail this a little bit, I like where it is. It's at a nice line of support. We've had, I don't like how we dropped, but the same sense we did two different times we tried to break and we didn't, so that's probably just they pulled the rug on everybody and try to get everybody to sell so they could buy again. But let's not let's not forget that this was also dividend day on Wednesday, so typically a stock will decrease on dividends as it did over here. Look over here as well. We had a big nasty drop the next 2 days. Look over here. We had a big nasty drop the next 2 days. So just keep that in mind. But if you were aggressive, this would be a place that I would buy. Chevron, I see not too much of a long-term problem right here. We're on a little bit of weakness, but it was also kind of a predetermined weakness, as that was the old highs, right? As you see over here, we kind of broke out and then retraced, and then we barely broke out, right? So what the highs were 1920 and we hit 1934. If we can get above this 17 line right here, 117, then I'd be more of a buyer, looking for us to kind of aggressively take out the 119 up to the 122. British Petroleum, or BP, as long as we stay above the 50% over here, I am a buyer. I would much rather see it take this 27, but it kind of makes sense. Let's draw a quick line real quick just to see if the game that they're playing is the 50% from right here to here, and it looks pretty much like they are. So the short-term traders are playing from the 23rd or the 20th to the 23rd. They're using that as their frame of reference. So in the short term, we can also use that as our frame of reference. So I need it to be above the 26.64 before I'm really interested, but anything above the 26.39, it's still bullish. RDS, Royal Dutch Shell. Kind of looks like BP a little bit in the way that the chart is working. However, I'd just be a little bit more careful with this, and the reason being that we made a new lower low, and now it looks like we have a new lower high, right? So one of two things needs to happen. One of two things will happen. If we start taking down, then we're probably making another new low. However, in order for us to buck this little trend right here, we need to break out above basically the 45.18. We break above the 45.18, then or even better, if we come down to the 42.82 and we do not break below the 42.82, I would be a buyer, because then we're making a higher low. KMI. I mean, I like the movement it's had, but you can see we're having a difficult time to break out of that 1603, or really, what, 1595. We are squeezing, so the squeeze could drag us. Now, let's keep an eye on the momentum of the squeeze. If it's still kind of bullish if our low goes to 1549, because the new low is here. But again, this is just like Royal Dutch Shell, where we broke to new lows and we're making a lower high. So in order for me to really get behind KMI, we need to break out of the 1639. I don't really see much of a problem with it. I like this way better, making a lower or a higher low. This kind of makes sense just because a lot of resistance at that point. But besides this spinning top, well, kind of like a gap, and then like another gap, and then they gap it down, right? Got everybody excited and then destroyed everybody. So if you take away these 2 days, then we did make a new higher high. So if we do not drop much lower, then I would even say probably the 27.15, then I am strong bull, whatever it's called. And for us to sentiment, whatever it is, and looking for E to take out the 28.09. About time Sunoco decided to do something. They've been sleeping for quite some time, since 12/20. Well, yeah, kind of. And they came back with a vengeance, right? I've been telling everybody from the beginning of the year, Sunoco looks amazing to me. 41.76 is next target, then 42.57. Exxon Mobil. We're squeezing, look for the momentum. Our momentum peaked a couple days ago, and it's starting to diminish little by little, but still not a large enough diminish for me to really scream mercy on. So I do kind of see that as long as we stay above this 59.66, I'm bullish. But again, with like Royal Dutch Shell and KMI, we had a new low and or a lower low, and also a lower high. So just keep that in the back of your mind. We are technically more or less in a downward trend. VLO, Valero. Yeah, I like it. Watch for a little bit of no, actually we're above it. So barely above it, but yet still above it. Anything above this line, I am a buyer, up to 78.07. MMP finally breaking this nasty downward spiral that we've had since October, right? That's so basically 2.5 months. We've had nastiness, but it looks like on not screaming volume, but on decent volume, a little bit better than everything else. We made our low, we made a high, we made a higher low, then we broke out right here. So technically the trend, downward trend, has ended.